press guy. Yeah, Jonah, you might want to sit back a little bit. I don't know. Oh, you're going to be panning the whole time.
I'm sitting in that.
So welcome everyone to the Womanthology Panel. I'm Jessica Daniel, and I'm just going to cover a little bit of background about the book and how it was put together before we start. So on May 17th, Renee DeLise sent out a tweet asking female creators if they would be interested in putting together an anthology for charity. The response was immediate, and within the first day she had over 100 responses. So once the dream became a reality, within a month, IDW was confirmed as the publisher. And on July 7th, the Kickstarter went live. Within its first 19 hours, Womanthology raised its goal of $25,000. And in the month that was up, it raised a total of $109,301 with 2,001 backers. There were a total of 168 contributors from 11 different countries, ranging in age from 10 to over 70. 1,600 books were printed for the Kickstarter, and about 6,000 books total. Within the first week of it being out, IDW sold 1,500 copies, and it was its 4th bestseller that week. So due to its overwhelming success right off the bat, there are further issues planned, the next one being a 5-issue ongoing series called Womanthology C2E2 we got started on the project. And so I basically just sent a tweet off to Renee saying, hey, I'd love to be a part of it, and my cousin and I are a writer-artist team, and a couple of emails later, and we were on the project.
Hey everyone, I'm Lauren. I'm from Chicago. I found out about it through Ladies Making Comics, which is a Tumblr that I really enjoy. And I think I was friends with Renee on Facebook, so I immediately sent her a Facebook message. So I got on the book, and I'm a writer, so.
Hello, I'm Jill Kang. I'm an artist. I wasn't following Renee on Twitter or anything, but her tweet was retweeted by various people I was following on Twitter. I think either tweeted by an editor from IDW or an editor from DC. But regardless, I thought, oh, that sounds really, really cool. I really want to do more anthology work, or anthology work in general, because I haven't done any. And as soon as an email address popped up, I sent Renee emails introducing myself and sending her my art portfolio. And after some back and forth, I got an email saying that was it, which was really, really exciting.
Hi, my name is Janet Lee. I feel lucky to be part of Womanthology because I was super late to the game. I didn't send emails, I did tweet. I met Jenna Bush at New York Comic Con last year, and she said she was writing for it, and I said, gee, I'd really love to do a story with you sometime, and she said, well, let's go check with Renee and see if we can do one for Womanthology. So that's how we ended up getting involved. They were lucky to let us in because we were very late submitting.
My name is Raven Moore, and I was a writer for Womanthology. I follow Renee on Twitter mainly because I found out she illustrated one of my most favorite novels, which is The Last Unicorn. So I just fell in love with her work and stalking her on Twitter. So she sent out a tweet asking if anyone was interested in contributing to a comic project, and I was one of the first ones to respond and tell her I was interested.
I'm Candace Riley, and I'm an artist on Womanthology, and I work on a team with my cousin Jessica over there, and she was the one who sent the tweet out, and she called me, and she's like, hey, you want to do this thing? And I was like, okay. And that was pretty much it.
Hi, my name is Katie Shanahan, or Katie Shine on the Net. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and much like most ladies here, I found it on Renee's Twitter when she put it out there. It was kind of one of those days when I should have been online, I should have been working harder on my own deadlines. I was like, let's see what's up on Twitter, and that popped up, and so I jumped on that, and I'm really glad I did because it's been a super fun experience for me as well. So yeah.
So why did we do the stories that we did? What was our inspiration, and how did we end up with the writer or artist we ended up working with?
I'm Not Omni Girl, which is a superhero story, and I just never written a superhero story before, and I was really excited to. So yeah, I kind of was going for something that was more along the lines of like a Prince and the Pauper type thing, and that idea ended up being a little bit too big for 4 pages, which is nice because actually Megan and I, the artist who worked with me, we're doing a book right now together, and we're doing a full-length version of Omni Girl. But yeah, the way that they paired us up, some people got to choose, and I didn't know any of the other artists, so I just said, you know, hey, I'm open to pairing up with whoever. I sent out an email, and Megan emailed me back like right away, like, I like your story pitch, and it sounds like fun, and we get along really, really well. Love working with her.
The story I did is called In Every Heart of Masterwork. It was written by Gail Simone. Since I hadn't had an opportunity to work with a professional writer, an email was sent out going, hey, any amateur artist who wants to try working with a professional, put together a portfolio of your work and the writers will look at it. So I was like, okay, that sounds cool. I don't think I'll get anyone, but here, I'll just send it anyway. So I put together a little website with some pages and emailed it in going, I would love to work with Gail Simone if it's possible, but I doubt I will get it. And then I got this, and then after hearing no response for a while, I get an email from Renee going, hey, you got Gail. Do you want to do it? I'm like, yes, of course I want to do it. Of course I do. So I sent you this long email filled with little caps, like an exclamation point, like, yes, let me do it. And a conversation started with Gail on Twitter, and also about minorities and how minorities aren't represented in comics, and also what I like to draw. I told her pretty much, I like to draw everything except cars. So, and she was also talking about wanting to do something that makes fun of the mainstream superhero genre. So that's how our story came about. And yeah, I really, really love it. It's such a fun story.
I just am an artist. I obviously knew I was going to work with Jenna, and she was doing another story for Womanthology already. So I got paired with a team of 2 writers, Rachel Panditch and Jenna Bush, which was fabulous. We all sort of pow out on the phone, and we decided, since I was working on Marvel's Jane Austen adaptations at the time, that we were going to do a period piece. And we all thought that the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory would be a great one. It's a little cheery tale about heroism in one of the worst tragedies New York City has ever known. So that's how it came about.
Oh, it was great.
Thank you.
My artist was Camilla Deverco, and Renee sent out an email saying, writers, if you want to be paired with professional artists, just not like a 1-sentence tagline for your story. And I said, oh, I don't know if I can do that. But my story was called The Guardian, and I just said a young girl has to escort her soul to safety. And and I didn't really know if anyone was going to be interested in that. That just sounds way too out there, like who's going to draw that? And Renee sent me an email and said, oh, Camilla's really interested in your story. And I was like, is she sure? Like, does she know what she's doing? And she said, yeah, she'll have you. She loves it and she wants to work with you. So at that point, I really hadn't even thought much about how it was going to pan out as a story. I just thought it was going to be really interesting about, some metaphorical story about souls and heroism and blah, 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 blah. So I worked on it, and I sent Camilla like a introductory piece, and she liked it. She just put it into a comic format, and there it was. So I had a really good time working with her, and she's just great.
So Jessica wrote our story, and we're pretty close, I guess. And she put our story together, and she'll talk about that. But for the art, for me, I guess it was probably the easiest pair up for us. We didn't have to go through all that process that a lot of the other artists and writers went through. And she just was going through some story ideas and handed them over to me. She's like, what do you think? And I was like, well, I like just about everything you write, so there's no problem there. And she sent this awesome fairy tale story, and I just like to draw. I'm not the word person.
grow, and the response that it got is like so overwhelming, and this being one of my first pieces being published, it's just kind of like, oh, this is crazy. So that nervousness, of course, is showing right now, but I'm just really excited, and I'm really, really glad that it's made such an impact as it has already within less than a year of it being out there, so.
I'm the artist in that story. I was working with Joanette Gill on the historical Margaret and Leopold. And Renee had emailed me saying, there's this really fun story, it was a really fun pitch that Joanette wrote about two old flapper ladies climbing a mountain. You should really work on that one. So, yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. So, yeah, essentially it's two old ladies climbing a mountain trying to get to a reunion party, but also they have these flying superpowers. So that was extra fun. And it was great working with Joanette because like, she has a really specific vision, like reference things to go for. So she was setting the reference images and like a lot of ideas for kind of what she wanted the characters to look like. So it was really fun. Just we were able to really mesh what our missions were for the story, and I got to do a lot of 1920s research, which I really liked as well, to get the club and get what it does, the clothes, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. She's fun to work with.
Hello. Sorry I'm late, so if I repeat stuff that's already been said, I apologize. For me, this project was something that, you know, I really wanted to do. It wasn't that I worked or anything like that, but the most exciting thing to me about being in comics for the period that I've had is I've seen a growing percentage of young female want to work in comics or want to write or want to be artists coming through my lines and asking me, you know, how did you break in? What did you know, all these kinds of questions. And to actually have a project to give new creators, creators a platform to show off their talent and show new ways of doing things, different perspective than what, you know, we're seeing mostly in traditional comics is really exciting. And the fact that so many people did not believe in it, did not think it was going to work, and that it has worked and been so amazing and gotten some of these great pieces and great talent out to be seen, because it is so hard to get published now, you know, and so I'm really, really proud of that. I'm really happy to support it, and I wrote a little story that Jean Kang did the art for, and then the other one I wrote in there was done by a team of sisters from 17 down to, I think, 8 or 9, did the art, so that's just so fun, and everybody was so welcoming and supportive of each other, and it's just, it's probably one of the most amazing projects that I've ever worked on.
So our story, Veil Between Realms, basically it came about by asking my daughter, hey, what should I write about? And she said, write about fairies. So I was like, okay, I like fantasy. So I decided to go with an urban fantasy story where reality meets fairy. And I wrote a few different pieces and gave them to Candace and gave them to my husband. And as soon as my husband said that one gave me chills, I was like, okay, we're going with that one then.
Okay, go ahead and look at it. No permission. Take away, no permission.
So, as I said earlier, you know, this is my first published work, and it's really interesting for me because I was that kid underneath my mom's kitchen table, drawing underneath the table when I was 4 years old, and I've been doing art for my whole life. It's just something that's made me really happy, and I really enjoy doing it. And I don't just work on illustration, but a lot of other different mediums, and I've focused on a lot of different things over the past 10 years, and doing paint on people's walls, and photography, and sewing, and just all kinds of crazy stuff. And when Womanthology came about, it brought me back to my core, and it brought me back to my drawing, and just really kind of said, this is what you really love to do. This is where you need to be. And just all of it is just like so mind-baffling to me sometimes, and it's just is amazing where it can take me from here. And as Raven just said, you don't need permission, and you don't have to wait for somebody else. Just do it for yourself and do what makes you happy, and just keep going, and don't let anybody tell you that you can't.